that I'm the IT manager and I want to have to understand which kind of devices are available within the organization. So what we can do to register the devices by the mobile device management platform.
As you can notice, I will log in with my Active Directory account, which is the one for Cambridge, and after I will explain how we did this kind of integration and what are the benefits compared to a basic authentication.
Is it cloud or is it on-premise?
The console is in the cloud, but our corporate services like Active Directory and the other services are inside our corporate environment in the internal network.
So this is AirWatch running with software as a services, which is integrated with our data center using our corporate Active Directory in order to manage the login to the system.
Yes, actually, when you log in, the first page you usually find is the dashboard, which shows you which kind of device are registered in the system. I have two devices, which are my iPhone and my Galaxy S2 Android. Of course, I can register also other platforms like Windows. Data to the devices like an asset number or a friendly name used in the company. The second way is to register from the phone. So from the device, I can register by using the web browser or by using the agent, because there is an agent available from the App Store or Google Play Store or Windows Marketplace that I can install. It's free, of course, and I can install the agent and then perform the enrollment to the agent. Of course, there are some difference between the enrollment with the agent or without the agent. With the agent, it gives you some additional capabilities, like for example the GPS tracking coordinates. I will explain this because this is important also for the privacy to know how we can enable or disable the GPS tracking. Or additional telecom management data capture. For example, if we want to control how many data are being passed by the phones and control the limits. Of course, I can perform an enrollment only by using the web browser. The system will function perfectly, of course. And then I can leverage eventually other applications to detect if a device is compromised or not. I will explain later what this concept is. The third way of registering a device is also allowing the users to connect to a self-service portal and having them register their own devices. So this is like an intermediate between the admin approach and the phone approach, let's say. For example, if I go here in menu users, I see that now I am the only one user registered now. I'm a directory account, so I'm using the Cambridge account, and I have two devices now registered. For these two devices, I perform the installation directly from the device. But for example, I can use also the batch import. So I can import users. For example, there is a template in Excel. I can complete the template with the device ID number, username, and it will import all my users and devices inside the system. There is a third approach, which for me is the most interesting in a corporate environment, which is I can integrate the system with Active Directory and then import the Active Directory groups already. So I can import all the users and assign them devices. Okay. Of course, the action of registering a device will require also the enrollment from the phone. I mean, I can register the device into the system, but in the end, the profile needs to be installed on the phone, of course.
So, for instance, I can send an email to all the users, yes, asking them to register the device in terms of adoption.
Sending the email or an SMS even. Yeah. These are some benefits, because if I open the web browser now, I have to input some additional data like the location group, which is this one, because users can be categorized according to groups, and every group has its own specific policies that they want to assign. But of course, I can send an email or an SMS to the users, which already has the link with the predefined group specified. So the users has only to enter its password in the end, and it will register into the system. So what I can do, for example, is import users from Active Directory, send a mass email or an SMS to the users, and they will click the link and they will register by entering just their password. After registering, I will see all the devices registered here into the dashboard, actually. Then I can perform additional filters, for example, to see which platforms are registered, which is the device ownership, because actually I can specify in the system if a device is company owned, shared between the company, or employee owned. This is important, we'll see later, because of the privacy we set on the devices, so the data we want to acquire. And it's important also because I can deploy policies, for example, for this group, which is Cambridge Technology Partners, or
and maybe
Cambridge Technology Partners,
I've lost my
only, for
devices.
example, to devices
I will call the IT for asking them
the
what can I do to click. What can I do in order to move back to a safe situation? Okay? What we can do? I lost my device.
Okay. Actually, if you lose your device and the device is corporate, full corporate, of course, I would advise a full wipe. I mean, so it's mainly entering in the dashboard console and going here. Here on the top, when I click on a device, I can see all the actions I can do, and I can perform immediately on the device. As you can see, the device wipe here, so the complete wipe, total removal of data, resetting the phone to its factory settings, is blocked here. This has a reason, because my phone is employee owned, so this is mine. Instead, the other is a corporate owned device, and in this case, if I click here, I can perform an enterprise, a device wipe, sorry. So I can delete completely all the data. Actually, in case of iOS, for example, the device will go back to the connect to iTunes or Wi-Fi, so it will be reset completely. The action is quite immediate because to push messages, when you send commands, the Apple Gateway will push messages to the device, but it will take at the max 1 or 2 minutes. So if the device is connected, of course. And so the message will arrive almost immediately. And I can tell you that the difference between the iOS 4 and on is the fact that with the iPhone 3GS it took half an hour to delete completely the device. Instead, with these devices from iOS 4 and on is almost immediate because it will remove the key of encryption, so all the data will become unavailable immediately. This is an advantage over previous versions. The same action you can perform for every platform, so Windows Phone, Android, in the same way. Of course, you can perform these actions also from here. Imagine that not only one employee, but 10 employees are in this scenario. You can perform this action, if you want to, by searching the devices and actually selecting them and performing like a bulk action on all the devices. I think